Hello, welcome to the SBCSA's Introduction to Grants module for new charter schools. This short module will demonstrate what an exemplar of what an allowable narrative budget detail looks like for this particular grant. We'll provide a couple of example narratives and highlight the required components for a couple of sample expenditures. These examples are intended to demonstrate what a narrative should look like in a school's Title III application. During this very short recorded presentation, I will cover the following outcome. By the end of this module, you should be able to identify the key components that comprise a quality Title III program application budget detail narrative that meets both the SBCSA and Nevada Department of Education's program review standards. So here's an example budget detail narrative that meets all of the SBCSA's and NDE's required narrative components. As you can see, a key is located at the bottom of each of the following two slides. For this example, we will use Object Code 100, which corresponds to the Nevada State Chart of Accounts for salaries. Notice the applicable key components based on what's requested are present. They're the school name, the type and purpose, the beneficiary, and the cost calculation. Benefit categories highlighted in orange in the key is applicable to Object Code 100 for salaries. It is applicable to fringe benefits, which we'll show on the second slide. Let's review these key components a little further. So the charter school name is in green, Charter School of Nevada. That should be pretty self-explanatory. The type and purpose highlighted in blue in this example should describe the type of expenditure and why the expenditure is necessary, or basically the reason and purpose for the request. If specific services or interventions are requested, please remember that these should be backed by evidence for federal grants. The beneficiary in purple should describe who will be benefiting from the service, activity, and/or intervention requested by these funds. So for example, in this particular example, you can see teachers are benefiting, their beneficiary, and ultimately the ELL students that are being served. Again, the benefit categories in orange is only applicable to Object Code 200, so you won't see any orange in this example. And the cost calculation in red, highlighted in red, lists specific position services and items and gives a count for each of those, as well as a reasonable cost for each of those positions, services, or items, and concludes with some sort of not to exceed verbiage listing the total of the budget line item. For this example, second example, we'll use Object Code 200 fringe benefits, so you can see also that benefit categories that I discussed in the previous slide. Notice that applicable key components are still present. The school name in green is present. The type and purpose highlighted in blue, again, describes the type of expenditure and why the expenditure is necessary, the reason and purpose for the request. Again, with all these type and purpose, remember again that these, even for any of these type of budget details, they should be backed by evidence, right, for federal grants. And then the beneficiary in purple should describe for the who's benefiting. So in this example, same, the classroom teachers and ELs associate benefits for that beneficiary that we showed in the previous example for salaries 100. And then you can see in red, we've got the benefits, in orange, which includes PERS, workers' comp, group insurance, and Medicare, which would only be applicable for Object Code 200. And then the red, the cost calculation, you can see is a flat rate of $11,220. And you've got this kind of not to exceed budget line item verbiage in here, as well as the total. We believe most application process questions should be answered via the training supports offered in our Canvas repository. But if you have any further questions, please feel free to reach out to the applicable grants unit staff. You can find that information under the resources area of this Canvas repository. You can locate the SBCSA grant unit contacts document to determine the applicable contact, and/or alternatively, our grant staff is also listed in the grants management system. Thanks for reviewing this training today. Remember, if you're in need of an additional service or if you have any more questions about this training, feel free to reach out to any of our staff or to look up the guidance on our Canvas repository. Thank you so much and have a great day.